First, right now, Russian troops are just miles away from the Ukrainian capital. Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris Shaw.
And I'm Lisa Greenberg. This is our top story of the morning, and a lot has happened overnight, so we want to set the scene for you. First, more missile strikes. Reporters on the ground say explosions were heard as early as 7 o'clock in the morning Ukrainian time as Russian troops rolled into Kyiv. We know the death toll has risen dramatically. As of this morning, Ukraine's president is saying 137 people have died. He says his military has inflicted 800 casualties on Russian forces. Then there's the sanctions. Overnight, more heavy sanctions were added to the growing list facing Russia. Japan and Taiwan are among the countries adding to those sanctions. But this morning, the president of Ukraine says those sanctions are not enough. He voiced support for his military forces fighting off the Russian invasion, but he says allies like the United States need to do more to help.
This morning, we are defending our country alone. Just like yesterday, the most powerful country in the world looked on from a distance. Russia was hit with sanctions yesterday, but these are not enough to get these foreign troops off our soil. Only through solidarity and determination can this be achieved.
This morning, a defense secretary says it looks like the Russian military is trying to invade the entire country of Ukraine, not just the eastern regions, as previously stated by President Vladimir Putin.
Now let's get back to those sanctions. Right now, the U.S. is focused on targeting Russia's money. President Biden says the sanctions will cause severe damage on Russia's economy, both right now and over time. A part of that is cutting off Russia's largest bank, as well as 4 others from the United States economy. President Biden says he's working with 27 other world leaders to try to limit Russia's ability to do business anywhere in the world. And new this morning, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced British flights will be banned from landing in Russia and crossing over Russian airspace. He also says his country will freeze assets in Russia's second largest bank. The European Union says it'll slap sanctions on Russia's trade, energy, and transportation sectors as well. There is a Ukrainian American population in Northport, and this morning, the violence back home is hitting the people there pretty hard. The congregation at St. Mary's Ukrainian Catholic Church has been following the news closely. Some of the people we spoke with were born in Ukraine. Some still have family who live in the country, and they tell us gathering for their weekly volunteer services yesterday was difficult.
Everybody cry. We can talk. We only think and cry. What we should do? Who can help us?
Well, she tells us she is waiting to hear from her family, including her mom and her grandchildren.
The pastor at St. Mary's is also calling for your help in praying for peace. He'll have a service at 8 o'clock this morning, so just about an hour from now. And the Ukrainian community in Northport will have a rally later tonight to support their country. Fox 4's John Barron is back out at the church right now on what's going to be a really difficult day for people there. John.
Yeah, Lisa, like you just said, over here at St. Mary's Ukrainian Catholic Church, they're going to be gathering as they're just hoping to have some prayers for some of their family over in Ukraine. Now, yesterday we got the opportunity to speak with a woman who has 2 sons in the Ukrainian army. Now, she says a few days ago she was able to talk to them, but has lost contact since the war began. Now, we also got the opportunity to just kind of speak with some of those members who also overheard over on the radio, kind of translating for us exactly what we were hearing. And my photog was able to tell me, Lyle was saying that he was able to hear from her, and she was saying that they were asking and requesting anybody in Ukraine who has a firearm to pick up and join the fight in defending their country. Now, we're going to get the opportunity to hear from them a little bit later on today. Like you just said, 8 o'clock is when the service starts. They're going to start selling food also at 10 a.m. So we'll hear from them coming up at 8 o'clock. For now, live here in Northport, John Barron, Fox 4.
Thank you, John. As the full-scale attack on Ukraine continues, European leaders say Russia has shattered all peace that existed in Europe.
And today they are condemning Russia. Mandy Gaither reports on how the world is reacting to the war this morning.
Ukraine under siege. Russia unleashes war with attacks and airstrikes. Residents racing to safety. This subway turned into a bomb shelter. Others fleeing the country altogether.
It's awful. You have to act, guys. You next. I mean, maybe not America, but Poland, other countries of Europe need to act immediately. It's not normal. Those people stand 7 hours with a baby on a border.
Some women and children crossing the border into Poland, but Ukraine has now temporarily banned males between the ages of 18 and 60 from leaving the country. Ukraine's president says Russian sabotage groups have entered Kyiv.
The enemy has marked me as target number 1. My family is target number 2. They want to destroy Ukraine politically by destroying the head of state.
More countries condemning the attacks, announcing sanctions against Russia. The European Union says it's targeting Russia's financial, energy, and transport sectors, visa policy, and more. Meanwhile, the French president says he's ready to broker a ceasefire, positioning himself as a mediator between the two countries, but he accuses the Russian president of duplicity.
There was a deliberate, conscious choice by President Putin to launch the war when we could still negotiate peace.
I'm Mandy Gaither reporting.
Today, the United Nations will vote on a resolution to condemn Russia, but because the president of the Security Council changes every month, and this month the president is from Russia, they are expected to veto that vote. Well, Fox 4 is committed to tracking what's happening in Ukraine and the impact it's having here at home. We will bring you the newest information as soon as it happens.
And not just here on air, but online as well. You can go to our website, fox4now.com. That's where we'll have all of the latest information on this conflict.